When your morning starts, make sure to look around for the right company to serve you everything you need to know about what's happening around you. That's why you need VOP this morning, because we will climb this far to give you a voice in what's going on, from news, reviews, politics and the economy, sports, and even entertainment. Join us weekdays, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Oh, well, it's the 27th day in December. Christmas is over and people are back to work. And the next thing to look forward to would be the new year.
Is Christmas really over?
Yeah, Christmas is over.
I don't want to believe that. Please let it continue till next year.
Oh, really? That's the wish of a child.
Well,
you know, it's you know the preparation from October up until December 24 is all to have fun for that.
Just one day.
One day. And that's how it is in life.
Well, it's worth it.
Of course. That's how it is in life, in everything.
Yeah.
People plan, take months to plan for their wedding day. And
Months.
after that day, and after that day, it's over.
It's just back to business as usual.
Oh, yes, back to business as usual. Well, certain people did not stop their business, a business of killing, a business of maiming, a business of burning houses. They didn't take a break during the Christmas time. That's talking about events in Plateau State. Unfortunate one. Well, we'll also touch on that today.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Good morning this morning. I am Moses Humphrey.
And I am Masinachi Okafor. As always.
We have two stories that we'll be tracking this morning. And we, of course, would have our guest in the studio to, break it down for us. Give us, a better understanding of some of these events that have taken place in recent time in Nigeria. Now, the first one would be the president giving orders to arrest killers in Plateau State's Christmas Eve massacre.
Plus, Niger State government bans sale and consumption of alcohol in 9 local government areas. I'm wondering why it's just 9 local government areas. Well, I guess we'll get to know that.
It's a start. I think it will affect others in due time. Oh, well, these are the stories we're tracking this morning. We'd like for you to stay with us. Come with us as we go through these stories. But in the meantime, we'll be delving into the front pages of some newspapers, and we'd like you to come with us. But before that, we also will encourage you
to join us on Facebook. On Facebook, we are Voice of the People TV, and on other social media platforms, we are VOP TV Live. And as usual, let's head into the front pages of the newspaper to know what the newspaper is saying this morning. We're starting off with Daily Trust. The banner headline says, outrage over Plateau. Writer says, Northern elders question military capability. Urge Mulfwang, that's the governor of Plateau State. Smoke out attackers. Tinubu orders security agencies. Farming communities. Mieti Allah trade blame over killings. On top of the nameplate, we have Tudumbiri finds unity in Christmas celebration amidst mourning. 2023. How fast data depletion, bad network, slow 5G dominated Nigeria's telecom sector. Police nab 18-year-old female student who worked as bandit informant. Okay, and then moving on, we have a pipeline explosion kills 20 persons in Rivers. Smugglers forfeit 3 billion naira vehicles in 9 months despite ban. Hackers stole $2 billion in cryptocurrencies in 2023, report says. Traders lose millions as fire raises Kanu market. I don't know why this actually...
Would you find extinguishers? How many companies? There was I know some companies did that some time back. I don't know if regardless of where you work, there should be a drill to take you through
Right.
what should be done when there's a fire. Once the alarm goes off, this is where you gather. These are those that can run, and if you're close to it or the stairway, you grab it. You know how to grab it, how to put out the fire on the base. These are things that should be taught to people.
I think that only happens on the aircraft when you're about to fly, and then they give
These things,
things.
and for sure, I don't think it's about Hamatan. These things, and for sure, I don't think it's about Hamatan. Really, I don't think it's about Hamatan. There are different postulations, but I don't want to go into the theory of maybe it's a sabotage or something. But bottom line is, people should endeavor to be careful.
Yeah.
People should pay attention to switches, lights, and how to put these things off. Some of these fire outbreaks happen when people are out of their shops, in their homes.
Or even
Okay, the refineries were clustered in a place, and you realize they were active. They were active, meaning they were refining crude, and they got a directive to bomb those refineries. I would have thought that you would send ground force, men on the ground, to quell everything before you destroy, if you must destroy. But directive was given, and these things were bombed from the sky. Are we sure that the 20 persons were not actively engaged in crude oil refining when the bomb
made calls, number of calls, and none was answered or something like that. But I mean, just a matter of how many minutes or something, and then a call was made, an order was issued, and it was.
that was they were trailing insurgents.
Yeah.
It was insurgents.
Yeah.
So they
I get
did
what
what
I
it
got.
emphasizes sanctity of human life. This is direct assault on our shared peace, unity, can. Northern elders condemn attack, question FG's strategies. Gunmen operated unhindered for over 48 hours. Amnesty International alleges, demands probe. Over 48 hours. All right. On top of the nameplate of the Nigerian Tribune, we have 15 killed, 70 injured in Osun, Lagos, Ibadan, Kaduna, Abuja highway accidents. Some of these are avoidable accidents, but I also do know that our roads are death traps.
Serious
The,
death
the,
traps.
the level, the amount of potholes that we have on our roads are troubling. There was a meme I saw some time back where some U.S. officials were on the road and they pointed to a pothole and they said, we need to find a way to fix this. That was the meme.
Yeah.
But then the joke was the pothole was just like a scratch on the road. It wasn't like what we
It
have
wasn't really
here.
a pothole.
Yeah, it wasn't what we have here. And the funny part was, these number of men came together because of this little scratch on the road. What we have here are gullies. If you're not careful, if you don't know a road very well, don't speed on it. That's the advice I give drivers. I give my friends that drive.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with a road, don't speed on it. There are roads I take. I know. Okay, if you're approaching this point, there is a pothole here. So you slow down and you find pathetic. Well, this is unfortunate. 15 killed, 70 injured in Osun, Lagos, Ibadan, Kaduna, Abuja highway accidents. Quite an unfortunate one. 50,000 soldiers involved in counterterrorism, separatist operations nationwide. That's according to Lagbaja. Tinubu hosts governors in Lagos, hails Fubara on commitment to peace in Rivers. And we go further down, we see pictorial of traffic. Now that one has a rather long queues of vehicles during Boxing Day celebration at the amusement park in Abuja on Tuesday. Now this, people still,
A lot of cars.
Actually. People are finding ways to make themselves happy.
Does it mean they do not travel?
Well, they already probably where they want to be, and they're finding ways to make themselves happy. That's the most important thing. Well, CBN investigator again summons Lemo, 2 others over Union Bank acquisition. Hooker to Tinubu. Nigerians fast losing hope in your renewed hope agenda. 2023 polls and the taming of PDP's shrew. Senate resumes plenary on Saturday to pass 2024 budget. NAF hits 6 illegal oil refining sites in Rivers. That's the story we just talked about.
Yeah.
Once again, I say I hope the 20 people that died are not from here, because it's not an excuse to kill Nigerians. Every life matters.
Every life matters.
Nigeria stakes cryptocurrency boom amidst monetary management challenges. All right, so these are the headlines you will find in the Nigerian Tribune. Let's go to another daily now.
Yeah. So we're taking a punch from the Punch newspaper, and the banner headline says, "Outrage as Plateau massacre claims 150 over."
There. Taking a punch from the Punch.
Yeah, taking a punch from the Punch newspaper. The banner headline says, "Outrage as Plateau massacre claims 150 over 10,000 displaced." And the subrider says, "I lost my father, 10 other family members to attack. Just photographer laments. President orders killers arrest. Can Northern governors, elders, Sariki condemn attacks." On top of the nameplate, the president meets governors, seeks stronger federal government state collaboration. Nigerians' diaspora remittances will exceed $20 billion in 2023. That's by the World Bank. National Assembly reconvenes Friday to pass budget. That's December 30th. Okay, moving on. We have a pictorial here. The massacre. The scene at Boko's, that's just Plateau. Yes.
Ladi.
Yes.
Area. Yeah. Plateau State in the course of the program.
Most definitely. Federal government plans fresh regulations for OPay, Money Point and others. 25 killed in Rivers illegal refinery explosion. 300 Nigerians killed in France. Blood crisis endlessly blood cries endlessly for justice. 300 Nigerians killed in foreign lands.
Thousands of Nigerians are killed in Nigeria. Thousands of Nigerians are killed in Nigeria. So if you have 300, well, you need to understand the story more. But the truth of the matter is, when you consider the perception of foreigners, people like an American, for example.
Yeah.
Anywhere an American goes, they brag about the fact that, oh, look, I am an American. You can't harm me. You can't touch me because I'm an American. Because they know that their life matter. If something happens to one American on a foreign soil,
all hell will
you know that the American government will do something about it. There was a covert operation where American soldiers came into Nigeria to rescue this
one
American. And but here in Nigeria, you can't brag about the fact that, oh yes, I'm a Nigerian, you can't harm me, you shouldn't touch me, don't talk to me like that because I'm a Nigerian. You can't do that. Because the world sees how Nigerians are being treated in Nigeria. I mean, that's not to say that Americans in America don't kill each other. I mean, we have gun rules in people that know that there is value of life, and governments will respect 300 Nigerians killed in foreign land. Well, I think relevant agencies should do something about it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't make a stand, if you don't show that you value your people, nobody will value them.
True.
So you have to show that, look, we've seen cases of Nigerian students being killed in Cyprus. We've seen cases of Nigerians being killed in certain parts of the world. And one would ask, what is the Diaspora Commission? Northern elders, governors, senators, others mourn. How 150 are killed. Governments to offset medical bills as deputy governor group condemn attacks. We have no option but to resort to self-help. MBF. We also have those security agencies prosecute perpetrated hospital for blood donation. Can task security agencies on intelligence gathering, proactive interventions, put a stop to senseless killing. Baptist Convention begged security agencies. Obi pays tribute to fallen heroes. All right, and then we have the picture of governors and they visited the president in his Lagos. The $24.1 billion in months. Yuletide, NNPCL guarantees fuel availability nationwide. Rivers crisis, Tinubu Lords Fubara over approach with Wike. Panel summons Lemo, others over acquisition of Union Bank. And then you go further down, you see 30 die in Rivers Ocean. It was 20 in the other paper.
Now it's 30.
It's actually annoying how we don't have exact figures. It's disheartening.
These are human beings, for crying out loud.
Police solicit information over murder of journalist in Edo. By-elections, APC PDP release timetables. Well, the PDP has pegged its own nomination of interest, expression of interest, and nomination forms for 3 million for the Senate. That's compared to the 20 million for the APC. Well, FG to go after economic saboteurs next year. Senate leader. All right. And newspaper. Well, I guess that'll be it for newspaper review. We'll take a break. And when we come back, President Tinubu reacts to killings in Plateau State. There's arrest of culprits. Details when we come back. Stay with us.
It's that time of the year when love and laughter fill the air and hearts are aglow with holiday cheers. It has been a tradition for almost time to create memorable experiences every Christmas celebration. Holiday memories, two just fun memories in their arts and those amazing compulsory traditions they observe every December.
For my families, that's very paramount. After then, we go visiting. That's my parents. That's where we do our Christmas. We had our Christmas 25th. We go visit my parents.
But one thing I cherish most is ability to reach out to people. Especially the less privileged. See our opportunity to say, okay, how one or two things I do that to give to people what I know I can give to them.
So what I do in my house, if I'm at home, I cook rice, chicken, and I share to my neighbors because it's a season of love.
Make myself happy. I things for myself.
Or I go to beach.
I plan ahead.
People keep watching People TV, and I wish you a very prosperous.
Begin with the President of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, condemning what he described as heinous and brutal attacks in Bokos and Barkin Ladi local government areas, which resulted in the tragic loss of about 160 lives. In a statement yesterday by his spokesman, Ajuri Ngalali, the President security agencies to immediately move in, scout every stretch of the zone and apprehend the culprits. President Tinubu also directed immediate of relief sources, resource treatment for the wounded. Now, you may recall that 60 people in Plateau State were killed in a series of attacks on Christmas Eve and the morning. Now, joining us virtually, we have Mr. Chukuma Okoro, analyst, and also joining us here in the studio, we have Dr. Ganiyu Oluwashola, who is managing partner of KJB. The introduction, please.
Well, it's managing partner KJB, Tax Audit Advisory.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of other things. The FCA titles: FCA, FCTI, ABR, CMP, PhD.
Okay.
Thank you to you for the Boxing Day gift.
Yeah. Really, what it should be. Shouldn't there be something done to reduce or curb the number of killings that has been happening in Plateau State?
First of all, let me, for the people of Plateau State, my condolence to every family that lost their lives. Right? You see, when you look at it, we are grabbing our treasures, our resources. You want to, like the weather in the European state, a very cool weather, serene and very beautiful, right? But gradually, the place is gradually becoming a dead zone, right? Totally condemnable. It's something that is appalling. It's heartbreaking. In Plateau State, they should have mounted a CCTV all around there. There should be some kind of surveillance. We are the drum that they should be used. And when people now saying that it's as if we do not value lives in this part of the country, over 160 people were killed, and the governor is busy in Lagos marrying. So let's assume that he has been in Lagos before such an event happened. If people is going to say, people will say that assume his position, it should not be part of the meeting. It should even give the people in Plateau one of the respect. If not flying back to Plateau, it should not be part of the people marrying you lost 160 people. We all say that developed country, developed country. So these are developed country. When you see developed country and they lose a life, you will see they can even call for a state of mourning in that community. But we should come up and say that we value the life of our citizens. And I want to say this also, that you see, this is also sending wrong signal to the outside world. We are going out to woo investors to come into the country, and the way they are going to picture it and paint it, that this country you are going in to invest, there are a lot of killing there, your life are not safe, your properties are not safe, your investments are not safe. Rather for them to bring in the investment, which is the FDI, they would rather take it to another country, another continent entirely, and which is not good for our country.
All right then. Well, let's bring Chukwuma Okoro into this conversation. Good morning to you, Chukwuma. Welcome. Welcome to VOP this morning. Now, we spoke a little about this yesterday, but the president has, one would wonder, when the service chiefs were given, marching orders, wasn't what the president is saying now part of what they were asked to do? What is the difference between apprehend the culprits and bring them to book? What is the difference between the president saying that now and what was said initially when the current service chiefs were put in place? Or are these just sound bites?
Good morning, Moses. Good morning, Ima, and good morning to you, Dr. Ganiyu. Before I start, Dr. Ganiyu, please, I would love you to send my own boxing virtually. My gift. You have to send it virtually to me.
No
That
problem.
said, Moses, we did some analysis about the judge situation yesterday, and it is still heartbreaking. The figure is rising. As at yesterday, we had 72, 150. This morning we have 160 reported, and the president has asked the security agencies to weigh in and arrest the perpetrators. It gives me joy to know that, for one, the president has said something, which I will always say is just a soundbite. He's somewhere in Lagos doing whatever, I don't know. And it strikes me as one of those things that we normally do to keep moving on as a people, irrespective of what happens. Is the president asking, for the president to ask the security agencies to arrest the perpetrators means clearly the security agencies are supposed to know the people. So it brings us to the issue of counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency. What is the duty of the DSS? Weren't they supposed to know, with all the funding, all the training, their preponderance in all parts of the country, weren't they supposed to know up front that such an attack was going to take place? That is a valid question for the security agencies to answer. And we have heard this all the time. The president, Buhari, said it several times. And like you said, they are just sound bites. They just say it and nothing happens, and life goes on for Nigerians. What is more worrisome to me is that these killings have actually become genocidal. Yes, it's appropriate to call it genocide, because the intent is there. If you talk about genocide, you have elements of genocide, the intent to kill, and the physical element of it, the mental element and the physical element. The mental element talks about the intent to kill, and the physical talks about actually killing people, causing mental or bodily harm to them, deliberately inflicting on a group conditions of life calculated to bring about their physical destruction in whole or in part, imposing conditions intended to prevent birth by a group, and forcibly transferring children from one group to another. These 5 things I mentioned, the 5 elements, constitute the physical aspect of genocide. And if we look at what has happened over time, it is genocidal because it is targeted at a certain ethnic group, at a certain religious people, at a certain cultural group. So we begin to look at it in the larger picture of being a genocide that is expanding. And all that we hear from our president, from the leadership, is go after the perpetrators and arrest them.
Okay,
and the question we should ask
really?
again,
what would you want to hear?
How about, come again?
What would you like to hear?
Moses, what I would like to hear is that people, those that people in Jos in 2021 have been arrested and prosecuted to deter future occurrence of the same event. That hasn't happened. Like I said yesterday, for the past 30 years or more, Jos has become a killing field. Not just Jos, the whole of the Middle Belt. In Taraba, in Benue, in Adamawa that constitute the Middle Belt, there is what we appropriately can be called ethnic cleansing by one group against another. 30 years. And it's not been classified as genocide, because if it has been classified as genocide, which it is, appropriate steps will have been taken by authorities to make sure that it ends, because one is against the Geneva Convention of 1948, is against the Rome Statute that established the ICC. But here, before our eyes, these things are happening. Again, the president has said, go after the perpetrators. And Moses, I will assure you that this is the last that will be heard of this matter. The next time you hear about Jos is probably when another set of people is killed.
Unfortunately.
Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. So I expect the president to go ahead of himself and ensure, if he doesn't have time to visit the place, he should ensure that the perpetrators are actually brought to book, because it has become, is a norm for us now. Like I said the other day, we have become inured to the goals of violence that spring forth, that spring out of the Middle Belt, and dangerously is expanding to other parts of the country.
But you know, we do.
If we don't watch it now.
Yeah. Mr. Chukwuma, okay, thank you for that line of thought. We know Mr. President. Now, this question is to you, Dr. Ganiyu. We know Mr. President as someone who is very vocal. When he says a thing, he commands it, and then it happens the way he has said. So we are hoping that this one is going to be different from that of 2021 that Mr. Chukwuma mentioned. And also, he mentioned genocide. Now, a number of persons are of the opinion that this constant killings is being perpetrated by the headsmen for what they call ethnic cleansing. Now, we don't know for sure if that's what it is, but most people attribute the killings to that. So I would love to know what you think about it. Do you also, are you also in that school of thought who think that these killings are tilting towards ethnic cleansing?
I might not support it 100%, because you see that it's just because we throw caution into the wind, right? When you look at these things, like you're saying in my dialect, that you handle this thing, something at the beginning, because once it grew, it might go to an extent that your ends, you might not be able to tame it again, right? So when you look at this thing, most of it are perhaps politically motivated. And these are, you won't tell me that they don't know those that are behind this. Right, like saying that it is someone that is behind a masquerade that make masquerade or made a lot of noise. So why can't we go after their sponsor? Why can't we go, as we speak, bandits, and they were still there? So in other words, that the state is being divided within itself, does not have the total control over the state. So if we are going to actually shows that, oh, we are in charge of this thing totally. Let us flush it. Let us take people that are behind them. Let those people be apprehended. Let them be used as a deterrent. As a deterrent, as an example. Because if we are not careful, it snowballs to other states. Asari Dokubo is saying that, oh, this government is the worst government. They should not, that they will start making firing in rivers. So you say, if there are people that are saying that once we start this thing, you can't tame us, then we need to show that do we still have someone in control, or we have some people that they cannot be tamed, and we allow them to go scot-free, and we are also allow an average citizen whom we are sworn to protect their lives and property to suffer for it. I think it's high time we appreciate the comment of the sitting president saying that, oh, these people should be nipped to the bud. So this should not be just be a statement. It should be followed through. Be followed through and show us that some people will be used as a deterrent. They will be disciplined, not just going to the street, pick some innocent people and say, these are the sponsors. It's just like going and pick a 72-year-old man saying that this is the man behind. What years does he have? And if you look at example of those kind of people, you see that where will they get the money to sponsor those kind of heinous acts? So we should be able to show that, oh, we have the willpower, we have the fiscal responsibility to guide and protect the life of these people. And if anything happens, some people will be used as a deterrent. Yes, the president has said that let us send reliefs to people, let us help the... But those things it's not enough. Before you know it, some people will begin to leave Plateau to another neighboring country.
Oh, that is happening already.
So once they leave Plateau to a neighboring country, then who will the governor over? Who will he administer its responsibility on? And Plateau itself, how did they attract FDI, foreign investment? So, and the way they're going to I don't need to give some example on here. The way they're going to project it in a global space, they will not talk about Plateau, they will talk about Nigeria. In Nigeria, there are killings. And so someone that has vowed to bring over $15 billion as an investment to Nigeria, you know this risk analysis, they're going to advise you, hey, the risk portfolio of Nigeria is high. Don't dare go there. Go to some neighboring country and just divert a little bit of your investment into Nigeria, and we are not enjoying maximum benefit. So it's more or less that the president is going out, couldn't come. So indirectly, we are using one hand to attract something and the other hand to throw it away. So I think we should take the decisive action. There should be political will to bring to book those people that are responsible for this heinous act and show to the world that, oh, Nigeria is safe to do business and also to stay.
All right, so Chukwuma now, a few things have been pointed out here. The president did say relief materials would be sent. He has ordered that relief materials be sent. There was a video I watched yesterday after the incident where villagers were packing their belongings, their mattresses, bags into cars, moving away. And this has been touted to be ethnically motivated. Now, there was, I've also spoken to a few indigents in previous programs, and they have said that, look, even when some are arrested, when the villagers come together to form a vigilante and they arrest some of these perpetrators, they hand them over to authorities. The next thing you see is that, okay, this person's transferred, maybe for trial, taken to Abuja, and then nothing is heard. And then more attacks are perpetrated on the people. Now, the former governor, Simon Lalong, complained about these events, these wanton killings in Plateau State. This current governor is also crying out, and he's also saying, look, these people are obviously sponsored because the weapons they use are sophisticated. If these people are sponsored, why do you think government hasn't started apprehending their sponsors? Why do you think our intelligence agencies are not apprehending their sponsors. Now, bear in mind that the commander of Operation Safe Haven did say that they received 36 or 38 distress calls simultaneously, and they had to respond. Regardless, he said some of his men were even, receiving treatment in hospitals, meaning they were overpowered. All right. Now, we also hear that the perpetrators operated unhindered for hours. I think I saw the paper 48 hours. I don't know when they started, but I saw the paper. They actually operated for hours. For hours. What do you make of all of this? I know it's a whole lot. I just put my thoughts out there. But what do you make of all of this? Why aren't their sponsors being apprehended? It feels like the same thing we are talking about Boko Haram and bandits and the rest of them. Your thoughts, please, Chukuma.
Yes, Moses, you have said a lot, and before I respond to you, I want to weigh in a little bit on what Dr. Ganiyu said. Dr. Ganiyu said he wouldn't describe it as ethnic cleansing, but I was expecting him to say what he would describe it as. If it is not genocidal, if it is not ethnic cleansing. Like I said, we did a bit of analysis yesterday about the events and the previous events that gave rise or that have culminated into what we are discussing now, which is the frequent massacre of natives in Plateau State by non-natives, who most times wield assault rifles that are not sold in the open, that can only be received from the military end, from the command positions, from command posts. So I had expected him to give it an appropriate characterization away from ethnic cleansing if he feels that it is not that, or if it is not genocide, according to him. But like what the little analysis you gave, even a foolish man would be able to piece together the trade to arrive at a predetermined conclusion. That, look, these things have happened over time. There were over 36 trace calls from indigents, from the victims, to the commander of Operation Safe. And within 48 hours, the responses were sporadic here and there. And in the midst of that, 160 people were killed within 48 hours. What does it tell you? It tells you that if you are looking for the sponsors, you should look at the people who were captured, the people who were not captured. The people that were captured, where did they get the military assault rifles from? See, Moses, we are on national TV, and I keep saying the best we can do for ourselves as a people is to tell ourselves the honest truth. If we begin to pepper over these things today, tomorrow, next year, we'll just be doing a circle show and still arrive at the same point where problems are not solved. The problem is structural. The governor is not in control of the security agencies. Why? Because the unitary federalism we are operating does not give him the powers to control the DSS. It doesn't give him the power to control the police. It doesn't give him the power to control the military. So what do you expect the man to do? I cited the instance of Enugu in 2014 when there was massacre of over 200 people in a place called Okpa-Benimbo. The governor put a call to the presidency and he was put on hold for 4 hours. For 4 hours. And by the time the call was answered and troops were sent in there, the damage had been done. They just arrested few innocent people, indigents for that matter. And that was the last we heard of that. So if you are looking for sponsors, DSS knows the sponsor. The military knows the sponsor. The police, they know the sponsor. See, what I expected the president to do when he came in, if he's a man of his words, I expected him to declare a state of emergency in the security sector. Because if Dr. Gani is talking so much about tourism, attracting FDI, yes, those things are there. But you have to make the environment conducive. See, businesses don't thrive where there is insecurity. I agree with him. So, but before we talk about that, let us look at the structure. Don't we? Is it not time we restructure this country and operate the true federalism? And I always keep saying, why don't we go to the basics, to the root cause of this problem? What is the root cause, Moses? The root cause, Moses, is that people want land. People want native lands of others, and the natives are not willing to give their lands. So why do they need the land? They need the land for grazing of cows, grazing of cattle. And in the 21st century, I'm saying, why can't you do ranching? Why must you move cows from Sokoto State, from Borno State to Akwa Ibom State, just to feed along the trough, where the vegetation is green?
All right.
You don't do that. You don't see it in any part of the country, and we are here trying to sound politically correct to impress.
Right, let me quickly ask you this one, as we'll be wrapping up this segment very, very shortly. Now, the people are there are talks about people trying to defend themselves. Should the people now take up arms to defend themselves? Is that would that draw the necessary attention needed?
Moses, we have seen some instances where vigilantes in Zamfara and in Borno State were able to repel insurgents, to repel bandits. You know, so if the law says I should not kill, the same law gives me the right of defense. I should be able to defend myself. So if the people have a way of defending themselves, sure, why not? But even in trying to defend themselves, it should be in collaboration with the government. And presently, as we are structured, as we are constituted, the government, the state governments, the subnational governments, more or less are hamstrung. They can't do more. Are you going to form a vigilante,
all right,
and then arm them with AK-47, AK-48, or AK-49? The law doesn't allow that. Meanwhile, their opponents are brandishing assault rifles, military brand assault rifles. So what do? So the buck stops on the desk of leadership. And where is the leadership now? The president. Isn't it time we called another conference? If we can't toy with the provisions of the previous conferences, isn't it time we called a new conference, a national one, even if it is not sovereign, but sovereign better? Even if it is not, why can't we sit down and talk? Everybody is aggrieved. We want a nation. For now, we are just a country, a state. We don't have a Nigerian nation. I see myself first as an Igbo before being Nigerian, and that is the fact of the matter.
All right.
I don't owe anybody any explanation because that is the situation I find myself.
All right then. All right. So thank you very much, Chukwuma Okoro. Now let me ask Dr. Ganiu. You're a businessman. You're involved in tax auditing and all of that. So you thrive more in the business environment. So I see why you're looking at this from the investment angle. Now, but this might sound rhetorical, but I want to hear you say it again. What are the immediate measures that governments can take that will boost investor confidence, since this government is looking at bringing foreign direct investors into the country? In as much as we know that some are leaving and insecurity is on the rise, what are those immediate measures that will create the necessary optics that would bring investors, boost their confidence, and make them come down to Nigeria?
Okay.
From your perspective.
Beautiful question. When you look at this, no businessman will invest his money in a place where he can vouch of his return on his ROI, return on investment. You see, if there are insecurity around, people are dying, right? And the environment is not conducive to do business. So at that platform, he will think otherwise than throwing his money there, right? Even if the person is an immediate brother to his, he won't throw his money there because an average businessman wants to make a profit and wants to say that if I'm bringing my money in, I can repatriate my money back, right? So the most important thing the government should do is, number one, security apparatus should be strengthened, right? The security apparatus in every state.
Okay.
Because if an investor is coming into, they'll say they are coming into Nigeria, right? But the Nigeria is just a name. They are either coming into Lagos, or into Oyo State, or into Abuja, or into Port Harcourt. So it's a state they are coming into.
But you know, the governors cannot, the security apparatus doesn't empower the governors to control the security agencies in the state. So should we now consider restructuring?
Restructuring has been part of what everyone has been talking about. Because if you can't say I have a position without being empowered. But I think the fear of also the center is that not manipulating in restructuring, if you now have power over the police or the soldier, if you are not going to use it against your opponent. So I think that's the fear. I just get that. Because if they have the power over the police and the soldier, so they have their political opponent, they can use it to victimize them, right? To ensure that, to silence everybody. So there must be a reason why you run to the center. But it's not the best.
Okay.
It's not the best. Because if, when you look at outside the country, California, they have their own, they can dictate what they want to do, right? But the question is that there must also be measures in place. Okay. Once we restructure, and it's also dovetail here. Restructuring is the best way to go. And also the state must also come in that we must be able to self-finance ourselves. Not going to the center to demand for money. That is the reason why a lot of state does not look inward and make the whole place. Because if let's take, for instance, the governor of Zamfara, if he's self-financing itself, and he ensures that every resources it needed to finance the state is coming from the state, I can tell you for free, the state will be better than that. Okay. There will be a round table. Even those people in authority, they know those people that are perpetrating this act. So if they need to come in as a dialogue and say, let's discuss this over, because in the long run, if the state is self-financing itself and there is no fund to use, it will be as dead as anything. But because, there is this mentality that, we run to the center to get funds. Even if we don't have any money to generate from the state, money is coming from the center. So because of that, this laziness, so there's no initiative coming. So even if we are going to do it, restructure will go across the whole hemisphere of the state. In terms of not only talking about, because you need the power of the military or the paramilitary or the police, you also need to say, how can I make this state industrious? I cannot make this state to self-finance itself. They call them the CEO of the state, the chief security officer of the state. So they should be able to live up to the expectations.
All right, then. Thank you very much. This would be a good place to anchor this conversation for today. Like Chukuma rightly said, we might come back again to talk about killings in Plateau, killings in Benue. It's an unfortunate one.
But we hope not.
We hope not, indeed. But we have another story coming up next.
Yeah. Up next on VOP this morning, Niger State government bans sale and consumption of alcohol. Details in a moment. Welcome back. Moving over to Niger State, the Niger State Liquor and Licensing Board has announced plans to ban sales and consumption of alcohol in Suleja and 8 other local government areas of the state. In a statement signed by the board secretary Ibrahim Mohammed Bonu, the ban would commence on January 1st, 2024. The statement also revealed that some beer joints within Mina, the state capital, would be served with relocation letters to move outside the city to within an 8-kilometer radius of the post office in the state capital. Now, though no specific reason was given for this action, but it is clear that the Niger State is one of the states of the Federation, mostly from northern Nigeria, practicing the Sharia law. It is recorded that there have been a public outcry that some states in the northern region do destroy cartons of alcohol drinks in accordance with the Sharia law. When these states take a share of the value added, we do have with us in the studio Dr. Ganiyu Oluwashola, and virtually we have Mr. Chukwuma Okoro. So I'm going to start off with Mr. Chukwuma Okoro. Now, a lot of people would say, oh, that's a great move in the right direction to ban alcoholic drinks and all of that in Niger State, in possibly just 8 local governments for a start. I want to know what your thoughts are on this.
Ma, thank you once again. I'm not sure a lot of people will like that, except the people that are the fundamentalists, so to say.
Why so?
My first reaction is this. Why would Nigeria is a secular state? Nigeria is a secular state. It's not a Muslim country, as far as I know. So why would a state government wake up and ban the sale of alcohol within some jurisdictions? Suleja is one of the main cities in Niger State, and I understand 8 other local government areas. Why will a government do that? You know, because apparently they are trying to enforce the Sharia law in the state and in those areas. You know, when this issue of Sharia started, it started first in Zamfara during the reign of Sani Ahmed, Governor Sani Ahmed. You know, Obasanjo tried to stop it. He didn't pay serious attention to it, and the thing kept festering until it now moved into other parts of the northwest, and now it is coming closer. It is coming downwards to Niger State. They are trying to ban the sale of alcohol. Good for them, but I also hope that by the time the federal government shares the accruals from VAT by the end of January 2024, that Suleja and the other 8 local government areas are not going to partake, you know, from the VAT that is derived from alcohol consumed in other parts of the state. Because if they do, I think it is defeatist to their faith. You don't like something, you don't drink beer, I come to your house on grounds of faith. You don't drink beer, but I come to your house and you buy beer for me. You know, so the whole issue, see, man, the whole thing boils down to the structural deficiencies we have in our country. Nigeria is a secular state. Why will somebody try to enforce Sharia law? If we are truly practicing federalism, then if you don't want to sell alcohol, you shouldn't partake in the VAT. Moreover, isn't it possible to domesticate VAT so that it becomes a state tax? Must it be federal must it be a federal collectible? And it brings me to the issue of fundamentalism again. You see, Africans, we have a way of overdoing things. I mean, I hop into Doha. I mean, while I fly Qatar Airways, Qatar is a Muslim country, and airborne, I press the button, and the steward comes, and I ask for brandy or whiskey, and I'm served. Airborne. I drop into the Doha airport, I walk down to the duty-free shop, and I buy alcohol, and come back to the main terminal, and drink it in the open. I get into Kuala Lumpur, I get into 7-Eleven, I get into Josco, Carrefour, IKEA, and all these places are Muslim countries. Go into the shop and I buy brandy, I buy whiskey, I buy rum or vodka, anything I want. But back here, we are trying to restrict ourselves. We are complaining about the economy. Meanwhile, we are putting measures to restrict the economy from growing further. What does it tell you about us as a people? I don't get it.
All right, so that's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it. But let's look at it from another perspective. Now, he talked about VAT. He talked about tax. You are the tax guru. Looking at some figures. It was said that in 2022, Nigeria spent the value of 13.3% of the country's 2022 annual budget on alcohol alone. Talking about Nigerians now, spending that much, 1.8 trillion naira. So that is a big alcoholic like this one.
So that's a brilliant question. I will come from this perspective, right? When you look at it, you see, it's so disheartening. You see, we talk about, when people are crying restructuring, most things they are talking about, you have the power of the military, the power of the police. These are part of the center intervening.
Okay.
You don't get it. So they have the willpower to do something with business mentality, with business sense. So now, because they knew that, even if I don't make money in the state, there's a windfall at the center. So because of that, there is no, they don't have this willpower to see how do I generate money. So if perhaps, let's assume the country is being restructured, they need to make their money themselves to finance. Are they going to ban it? Are they going to cut off the source of revenue from the states? You will recollect also that during the Buhari regime, Wike was fighting on this. Apparently, the VAT, value-added tax, should be collected by each of the states. But the federal government said that, we will collect it on your behalf. We are going to share it. What we are just going to collect is 15%, which is the administrative fee for collection. All other money goes back to you.
To the states.
To the states. So we can now say that, let us give the state based on their collection. So these people that are breaking, so if these people that are breaking bottle, don't give them. And when you look at the allocation side, they get more of these shares. Then the question is that you don't like my hands, but you like my money. Right? So, and we also come off saying that, rather than banning, this sort of, you see, when we talk about, drink issue, liquor issue, is globally. So how do we control it to our advantage? Number one, you don't need to ban it. The state has the ability to make some law within themselves. Lagos State has consumption tax. Up till now, the federal government has not yet upturned it. So Lagos State takes sales tax, which is consumption tax, and the state value-added tax. You can decide and say that we don't want liquor. And if you decide that you are bringing it to this part of the state, we are going to increase the we are going to generate money from it. You can decide to put a whooping sum of a 20% on it for every liquor bottle. So if you now say you have the power to buy what you can buy in Lagos for 1,000 naira, you are buying it in Zamfara or Niger for 2,000 naira or 3,000 naira. So the extra 2,000 naira go to the government. So to the governor. So 2,000 from each of the bottle. It's a whooping sum of revenue for them to make. So if they're running business, government with business sense, you won't say that I'm bad, because if you ban it, people still go for it.
Of course.
Right? So with that, you generate additional revenue for the state. And you have enough money to take care of the state. And not only on that aspect also, you aside from you generating revenue from the state, you can also decide that, oh, these people that are coming, we also give you some CSR, corporate social responsibility. If you ensure that you want to sell this product in this state, these are the part of the state you need to develop. And so once you have it in place, all things go. And we also think to run government, there's what we call PPP, public-private partnership. So if it happens like that, so you call on the private organization and do this thing with the government, and so the government won't help. That's why, you see, there was a time that the finance minister of Nigeria says that we don't have revenue problem. We only have that problem because there is several ways we can generate revenue. But the question is that how do we know how to use it? We just the same state will go outside the country to borrow funds. And use it for the state, whereby you can generate this fund within the state and use it for the benefit of the citizen.
Interesting. Talking about revenue in the alcoholic drinks market, we hear that in 2023, it amounts to 45. I think this is a global figure. In 2023, it amounts to $45.2 billion US in 2023. That's a lot, really. That's a lot.
Okay, so over to you, Mr. Chukwu Maokoro. Now, I want to tilt a little away from the ban of the alcohol beverages. There's been an outcry of Nigerians about the fake products, alcohol beverages, a lot of adulterated drinks and other things in the country. And now Niger State has come out to ban just alcohol. And a lot of people are like, why Nigeria is no longer the Nigeria we used to know during the time of Dora Akunyili when she was the chairman of the NAFDAC. Do you think this is a step in a good direction? I mean, there's a lot going on in the country as regards fake and adulterated beverages. And we're having this. Do you think it's, what do you make out of this actually?
Okay, if it's a step in the right direction, then we should go ahead and ban everything because almost everything is adulterated. Peak is adulterated. Milo is adulterated.
Can we not mention
Bonvita
brands?
is adulterated.
Can we not mention brands, please? Please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. We have a lot of fast-moving consumer goods, FMCGs, that are adulterated. Should we then ban everything and eat natural? We cannot afford to do that. One, it's going to hurt our economy. It's going to hurt our health because these are nutrients. These are nourishing foodstuff too. I think what we need to do is to strengthen the agencies. Just like the NAFDAC that you mentioned about, and it's also an organization of Nigeria. It brings the issue of institutions. What do we need? Do we need strong persons or strong institutions? And if you ask me, I think the answer is that we need strong institutions. Institutions that operate with or without strong persons. Any other person that comes in, fits in. So the person just needs a little capacity to function effectively. Since Dora Akunyili left, NAFDAC has been floundering, It's neither here nor there. The strict sanctions that it used to give are no longer there. So it tells you that we were dealing with a strong individual, which shouldn't be. We should actually look at building strong institutions that survive people, that survive generations, that survive strong men. Because if we had built a strong NAFDAC, Dora's absence, Dora Akonyele's absence wouldn't have been a headache to us. So if you ask me, I think what we can do is to keep tweaking it. The institution itself, we have NAFDAC, we have Standards Organization of Nigeria. In the pharmaceutical sector, we have the PSM, Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria. These are agencies that can actually step in to ensure that we reduce the level of adulteration of products, be there FMCG, FCMG groups or FMCG group products or pharmaceutical products or even so many other things. We have seen buildings that were burnt completely because of the kind of cables that were used to wire them. We have seen buildings fall because of the type of cement. Building collapse because of the type of cement that was used to construct those buildings.
Now we'd like to manage time now. Let's have your concluding thoughts. Yes.
Yes. My concluding thoughts about this is this. I'm not sure it is proper for the Niger State government to ban the sale of alcohol in Suleja and other areas and turn around to receive VAT that accrues from sale of alcohol in other parts of the country. If they reject one, they should also reject the other. And about what Mma said, what we need to do is to build strong institutions, to strengthen those institutions with policies, with laws, and ensure that they operate outside the wings of strong individuals. That is the only way we can move forward.
All right, then thank you very much. Chukwuma Okoro, journalist, public affairs commentator. Dr. Oluwasola Ganiyu, let's have your concluding thoughts as well.
Yeah, I would say that we should build a good system. You see, a system that outlives us. That is what makes life easier, right? A system, you can only build a system when the person in charge of that regulator has no self-interest. You see, once you have your own self, there's one thing in my field, they call it conflict of interest. Once you have something to take from that system, you will throw caution into the wind. You won't be able to protect the brand which is already there. I think Dora Akonyele was there to make a name. So if you are there to make a name, also to create a brand, like I always say whenever I'm privileged, I say that you will always be remembered for two things: the problem you solve and the problem you created. You see, the former NAFDAC boss is being remembered and gone are his days. She tried to solve problem. So, and other people, we should be saying that once they leave office, what will they remember them for? Have they created additional problem or they've solved a problem? Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Dr. Oluwasola Ganiyu, who is managing partner, KJB Tax Audit Advisory. Well, we'll take a break. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we get into business. Stay with us.
When your morning starts, make sure to look around for the right company to serve you everything you need to know about what's happening around you. That's why you need VOP this morning, because we will climb this far to give you a voice in what's going on, from news, reviews, politics and the economy, sports and even entertainment. Join us weekdays 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
So going into the world of business now, the Capital Investigator Panel on the Central Bank of Nigeria and related entities has summoned Babatunde Lemo, chairman of Titan Trust Bank, over the institution's acquisition of Union Bank of Nigeria. In a letter dated December 24, 2023 and signed by Eleho Okpoziakpo, head of operations at the office of the Special Investigator Team, Cornelius Ving and Rahul Savara, the major shareholders in Titan Trust Bank, were also invited. The letter addressed to Lemo by Jim Obazi, head of the Special Investigator Team, said the invited officials must present themselves by 2 p.m. on December 28, 2023 to the Department of Force Intelligence. Now, the Home Finance Department of the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning has received a sum of $5.6 million from the World Bank to procure 21 items, which include office stationery, furniture, solar inverters, office equipment, and vehicles. The approvals were made under the State Fiscal Transparency, Accountability and Sustainability Project, which was initiated in 2018. The SFTAS project was designed to strengthen transparency and accountability at the subnational level and ended in 2022. Oh well, those are business stories that we have for you at this moment. Well, it's time for entertainment. All right, so we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll delve into the world of entertainment.
It's entertainment time on VOP this morning, and the beautiful Kayla Abraham is here this morning with the updates. Good morning, Kayla.
Good morning to you.
You look like I just got back.
Thanks.
You know,
I was about to say that because I've not been here since like Christmas time.
Really?
So
you just got back.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Good morning, Moses.
Good morning to you.
Looking dapper. Okay. Well, in entertainment this morning, we've got Nollywood actress Iritido. Well, she has disclosed that before she became an actress, she was embarrassed to tell people that she wanted to act. Yes, that's very funny because seeing how good she is with in her roles in movies, the roles she plays in movies, you would never think she was the shy type or the embarrassed type to tell people she wanted to act. While speaking in an interview on a podcast, the actress noted that in the early days of nursing a career for acting, she couldn't bring herself to tell people. So people didn't know she had so much in her for acting. You know, she had that enthusiasm, she had that push, she wanted to act, but she couldn't tell anybody. And you know, at the time she was already independent. She was living alone. She wasn't living with parents, trying to get something for herself, you know, doing and get a career. But unfortunately, she couldn't tell anybody until a friend spoke to her. I was like, how about acting? You know, you spoke about acting. What's going on with that? And she said that was when she started speaking up about acting, and now she's quite an interesting actor, if you ask me. She's played so many interesting roles. She can literally become that diverse actor or actress that we want her to be. You know, she can be the Oga's wife. She can be the strict mom, the rich wife, and you know, so much more. So yes, that's it there with Iretido. Moses, what do you have to say about that, Moses?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
it's
don't
a good thing
you?
to chase your dream. Well, she had the vision. She had the desire, and. Not many people get that opportunity, really, to desire something and see it actually come to fruition in their lives.
Let me ask you something, Moses. You are a very seasoned, great media personality, I must say. But was it very easy for you to just come out like that and to say, oh, you know what, I think I can be a great, you know, TV personality, TV presenter, and I'll do that. You know, not many people have that confidence to come out
themselves.
And, yeah. So was it easy for you to do that?
It wasn't even what I wanted to do.
Oh, what a revelation.
to start with.
Ding, ding, ding.
It wasn't what I wanted
Moses
to do. No, it wasn't.
Humphrey.
It wasn't what I wanted.
I didn't want to be a media personality. But you're good at it now.
Well, I got, you know, learned on the job and grew. I wanted to do a whole lot of things. I wanted to be a lawyer to start with.
With the suits that you're putting on.
I will do it. If Moses was my lawyer, I will win every case in court. Every case in court.
That was what I wanted to do, but then I liked entertainment. Anyway, it's not about me.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's just related to Iretido's story. Quickly, Master, what do you think about this?
I love her roles in movies.
Yes,
I started loving her when
takes...
she started acting the tinsel.
Oh. The soap opera.
Yeah, the soap opera. And then I love her. She's also a very beautiful woman.
She's
very
agree.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's such a good actress, and I love the fact that she actually believed in herself, and then she started to come out. And
and dominating the role, you know, the industry. But that's great. Well, let's move on to the music industry now. Well, Nigerian female artist Ira Star has come out to disclose how she got the name Ira Star. Well, she did say, yes, that her name is Oyin. People call her Oyin from her first name, Oyin Consola. But then she got Ira from Ira. That's a Yoruba name, yes. So she said she wanted people to call her Ira, but she can't make it a stage name. So she decided to Google up a similar an English name that was similar to Ira, and she saw Ira. Now, you know, moving on and trying to get into the industry, dominate in this industry, she was going to go with her name Ira, just the stage name Ira. But then when she got signed into the Mavericks record and, you know, got talking with the boss, Don Jazzy was like, I think you're a star and you should have Star, you know, added to your initials. And from there, she picked it up and said, well, I would just be called Ira Star because my boss said I'm a star. And now nobody can deny that she has really come out and she's doing big since her, you know, since she came out in the industry in 2019. Let's not forget that she's like one of the first young female artists to be nominated for a Grammy Award. So she's doing big things, and thank God that Don Jazzy decided to add Star to her name because she's really shining, one must say. What do you think about that, Moses?
Oh, well, what you call yourself is important.
Very important,
the name
yes,
you go by
names.
is important. Wizkid called himself the Wiz Kid, all right, and he's
tiny.
He's a whiz kid in music.
Like that he wants to be called that name now.
Well, a whiz kid is just one who has a way around, you know, gadgets, computers, and all of that. So he has his way around music, and that has worked for him. So what you call yourself is important.
It's very important.
Some would say fake it till you make it. That's what we see happen a lot in the music industry. You know, the days of when Don Jazzy came up with the band and the crew, they talked a lot, Mohits. They talked a lot about having money and all of that, but they didn't actually have that money. They just spoke into their lives, and you know, it happened.
Well, one must say they're doing good. I mean, if you ask me,
so basically, it's important what one calls oneself.
Yes.
But I wonder why most of these musicians do not bear their real names.
No, you have to have a stage name.
Must you have a stage name, Moses?
Moses.
Why not just answer Moses?
Do you have a media name?
Do you have a media name? No, do you have a media name?
Can we not do this today? I do actually, but not today.
Tell us.
Please, we need that revelation.
Off the air, please.
Interesting, but I agree with Moses on with the fact that names really do mean a lot, and it has a role it plays in your life, even if you don't see it at first, but eventually we get to see some people with their names and how it turns out. Well, let's move on to the tea on social media. Well, it's very interesting what is trending. I must say, like, this is something I didn't see coming, but it is trending. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Igbos. Well, them traveling back to their state and to the east to celebrate this festive season has become a big trend on social media. You must see the Igbos coming out and bragging. So now, well, what are they talking about? Their thing is very interesting to see how Igbos can just interestingly move to their own houses that they built with their monies, like their mansions, and enjoy. I mean, look at videos from people's houses in the east. I'm telling Moses, I love the reaction. Well, this is someone's house in the east. I mean, this Christmas, we can't deny that many people travel. This is another mansion.
People always travel.
So no, yes, let's break it down. We've got a new economic situation in the country, and we see the inflation. We see so much going on. And we did go out for a report. We had our correspondents on the streets of Lagos talk about this, and it was many people said they wish to go, they wish to celebrate with their families, but they can't. I mean, things are not like how they used to be. But then funny how the east is packed up right now. Southeast, eastern region in Nigeria.
Christmas period without an Igbo person traveling?
So Moses, before we go into the reactions on social media, quickly, how do you take all of this? This is interesting, isn't it?
Beautiful houses.
I must say, and this is their own money. This is not government. This is an individual building their homes for their families just to celebrate. I love the reaction.
Moses is smiling.
Give it to me. Tell me.
Well, I don't know why this is trending.
I don't know either.
I don't know why this
I know
is
the Igbos. It's just started coming out all of a sudden.
Yeah,
and
the Anambrians,
think
especially between the Anambra people.
Yes, so there's a thing of go back to Anambra.
Yes, go back to Anambra.
Is this a way to tell government in Lagos that look, you're destroying our homes, but we have better houses back in our village?
You never know.
That's what it feels like to me.
You are not lying, really, though. There are some tweets like that, but I don't think we're going to focus on. Let's just focus on the positive ones.
Well, it's good to have. Okay, these are the tweets.
Let's take them. Yes.
All right. It's good to have your house, your structure in your village. The Igbos have been touted to, the Easterners rather, have been touted to be those who go out to invest in other people's land, abandoning their own land. But I guess this is what they're trying to show.
Yeah.
This is what they're trying to show. Well, this tweet, may I?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Moses, take it.
This one here reads, I love the way Igbos are using their hard-earned money, not public funds, in building mansions and developing their region. It's a welcome development, and that's coming from Malam _ Jaber. Igbos in Thailand. This is from Nefertiti, First Ladyship.
Yeah.
Says Igbos in Thailand, Igbos in America, Igbos in Canada, Igbos in Malaysia, Igbos worldwide. It's time to develop your region. Put heads together and crowdfund. Take your massive chest of contacts to Southeast. Your HQ should be in Imo, Abia, beg your pardon, Enugu, Ebonyi, and Anambra. You guys can do it.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Now we've all returned and seen that the Southeast is safe for humans and investment. Moving forward, as Lagos-based Igbo people, go back kindly. Stop spreading the fake news that there is war in the Southeast. Christmas is gone and no single soul was lost.
It's interesting to also hear that, we're seeing the insecurity that's also been playing out in the Southeast. Yes, and I'm happy that many people are going and they're safe, their families are fine, and they're having so much fun. This is someone that is not Igbo, I think, what this person had to say. This person disclosed how they would celebrate Christmas.
Well, this person says, this is at Mo Shaibu. I said my next Christmas will definitely be spent in the southeast.
Will also be,
my first time visiting Igbo land.
Southeasterners, do you have a visitor for next year?
I mean, there are many of them. Like, if you look on social media, there are many people that are not from that region, that part of Nigeria, but they're saying they definitely need to go and check this out for themselves.
It's actually good. It's actually a good move.
Okay, quickly.
Because we're talking about the positives now. You're
honestly
letting the world and other Nigerians know that it's not a den of bandits. It's not a den of kidnappers.
Terrorists.
There's life there. People can actually have fun. Owerri, for example, is a place filled with fun.
Okay,
fun
tell me about it.
Hotels and fun lovers.
Tell me about it.
It's good that we are looking at this from the positive light, and also attracting people. I mean, if people say they want to go and they actually go to visit, then that would be a good thing. I don't know if the Calabar Carnival was done this year.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
It wasn't done
yes,
this year.
Because people did talk about it too on social media, and it's unfortunate because
it's unlike them.
It's unlike them, and we love
that was something that brought
tourists, people and tourists together.
Brought people to that region. So things like that should be done at that time of the year, at this time of the year.
This time of the year, honestly.
People can visit and experience
and
culture.
See the beautiful.
And that would also improve development in these areas.
I mean, you make friends with people from other tribes and all of that. It's such a good thing.
And to see these houses, Moses, imagine you own one of those mansions and you invite, I'll call my family. I'll come with the whole compound people. Because these houses are really big enough to take a lot of people. I mean, if you ask me, who are they keeping in these houses? And it's very interesting to see that.
It's like to show off.
I'm sorry, why?
Why? Like to show
why not? Moses?
In a village, not township.
It's not hot, so Moses.
It's
this is beautiful.
Like to show off.
It's beautiful.
Really, I understand. But it's really nice. Well, that's it on entertainment and the tea on social media today. That will be all.
All right then. Thank you very much, Kayla Abraham.
Thanks.
Oh well, as you develop your land, also invest in the land where you're doing business. That's what I would say. I know a lot of Southeasterners are investing in places where they do business. Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt. Abuja, Lagos, and the rest of them.
Yeah.
They are investing in those areas, and let's all try to live together in peace. It's one Nigeria after.